Well, the latest is people are getting tense. You know, with nightfall coming, the expectation is that there will be more attacks tonight than there were the previous night. There were quite a few last night as well, but the expectation is with the Russian army getting closer, that the pressure will build up on the city. You know, the Russians know too that the Ukrainians are reinforcing their defenses in and around Kyiv. And so they will be wanting to put pressure on to soften up those defenses as well. So everybody here is expecting that the night will see a lot of missile attacks. Not ground forces probably, because the Russians aren't yet in a position to launch ground force attacks on Kyiv. There have been reconnaissance movements into areas just to the northwest of Kyiv, a place called Abalon, right in the suburbs of the city, which seem to have been soaked up by the Ukrainian forces. Apparently, I was speaking to somebody just an hour or so ago, there's no more fighting going on there. But there's no doubt that the Russians are probing, looking to see whether there are weaknesses in the Ukrainian defenses to prepare the way for the main force, which at this moment seems to be about 50 kilometers north of the city. In other words, not close enough yet to launch an assault, but coming closer all the time.
Coming closer all the time, and what a task it is trying to sift through the fog of war. On social media, there's claims of soldiers dressed up in the uniforms of the other side, of false flag operations. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's true. You know, one of our colleagues from RFE was arrested today by the Ukrainian police because they thought he was some sort of saboteur or something. He's a Russian. You know, he played his tapes to them afterwards, in which they were able to establish that he's not a Russian spy. But people are very tense here. You know, the people are on alert for spies, for false flag operations, as you said. But at this stage, I think we're getting to the point where the real fighting is about to commence in and around Kyiv. It's been going on, as you pointed out, for 48 hours elsewhere in the country. Heavy fighting in Kharkiv, on the eastern Donbass front, around Mariupol, Chernihiv, just north of here as well. The Russians, it has to be said, not making very much progress. The fighting seems to have taken them by surprise. I think they'd wanted to get much further forward at this stage than they are, which does suggest that the Ukrainians are well organized, well dug in, and have prepared effectively for this onslaught by the Russians. And bear in mind, too, that the Ukrainian army is no longer the force it was in 2014 when the Russians seized control of Crimea. This is an army of 200,000 people now, a large number of which, a large percentage of which, have combat experience. So it's not they're not going to be a rollover for the Russians at all. And the fighting that we've seen so far has made that clear.
Rob Parsons.